We got going on. I can zoom. I can. That's not too bad. All right. I see somebody has joined. I'm just trying to get the camera set up. I'll see if I can see the chats. I don't know if I can or not. Hey, there we go. I see. Good, good. Thanks for joining. I see we got a few people. That's good. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully. Good, perfect. I'll shut the furnace off here in just a second because it's kind of noisy, but we'll get started here in a second. Perfect. So I'm going to start just getting a little bit of a coating on this surface right here because I want it to dry before we get onto more of the details. So I'll do that pretty quick. So just bear with me. I'm going to shut the furnace off and we'll get it going. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. So, like I said, while we're waiting, I'm just going to get and do a bit of a thin layer. I'm going to use some Model Masters or whatever. I guess it's Vallejo Model Air, some white. And I'm going to mix that with some of this cement gray, which has a little bit of green in it. And that will just give me some highlights of some, whiteness. Because, concrete has a bit of a whiteness to it when you're, get some age to it. So we'll do that. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Like that. A little bit of water, like that. And we'll mix that up. I want that quite watery because this is going to be more of a wash than anything. It's going to go over, might be a little too thick. All right. So like I said, I'm just doing a quick coat of some white on it. A little bit of a whitish color, I guess. Just to give us some, fade into the concrete color. And then I'll let that dry and then we'll really go to it. So this really isn't too much of the stream, I guess, or the plan. If I miss any questions or any comments, forgive me. I'll do my best to see them. I guess if I don't like it too much, I can just use a little bit of paper towel. Like so. There. All right. So where's everybody from? Anyways, are we talking USA, Canada? Where are we talking? Pennsylvania, right on. So what's your the train of choice? Are we diesels? Or are we steam? Canada, right on. Steam. There we go. Are we all Nscalers here, or we got some HO or O scale? Diesel, right on. Okay, that should do that for now. I have no prototype, no pictures. I am just doing this with my imagination, and hopefully it's going to work out. Wish the chats would stay a little bit longer. Top chat. At the Nscale currently. Yeah, that's the reason why I went Nscale too, is because of the room. It's just, you get so much more space with it, you know? Right on. So, those that are here, I will show you. Let's see, I don't even know what time it is. What time is it, everybody? It doesn't show me the time anymore. This is Pico Code 55. I'll show you. I don't really want to move the camera too much because it's tough. But that, yeah, Pico Code 55. Okay. I'll show you what I'm using for brushes. So I got an assortment here. So the big brush is what we're going to do most of our weathering of this with. Some more details with this fine brush. And then I'm going to also, I guess some of the cracks, I'm going to use this brush right here. And then this one's going to be for some like weathering powder. Obviously you need to have some water. The paint, what I just used was just a combination of the white and the gray. This cement gray from the air, it's got some green in it. I kind of like that, but sometimes I like a little blue. But this one will match this a little better. Then I have some NATO black, which is always important. And then just some rust. And then for the powder, I'm just going to use the dark steel from Vallejo. I wish I had some just actual black, but because this actually has quite a bit of a metallic in it. But, whatever. It looks fine. And then I'm doing more of a dry brush technique, so I'm going to use a piece of paper towel to kind of brush that on. So, that's the plan, at least. Okay, I think we got everything. Still a little bit wet in there. Probably didn't get that going soon enough. But anyways, we'll just kind of wait for that to dry just for a bit. And I don't know, let's see, what do we got for trains? We have, I'm more of a CN, CP. What are you guys? What's your deal? Yeah. Wish I had air dry. Need the wife, I guess. Actually, that gives me an idea. Oh. just going to use a little air. Of course, somebody's at my house. What are the chances that I go live and somebody's at my house? Too bad for them. I'm not answering the door. CN, okay. CN via, well, a few different ones. Norfolk. I always like the Norfolk look of the engines. I think they look awesome. Okay. We'll start seeing if this is dry enough. Conrail, right on. Funny enough, I always think that Union Pacific has got to be the most popular thing out there. And yet, when I talk to people, rarely do I see them saying that they model Union Pacific. Okay, we're going to use a little bit of this rust. Squirt that in there. Some of the black. Not too much. And we'll mix it up a bit. I need a little bit more black. As you can see, I'm not using a whole lot of paint. It's very small amounts, and I really don't care if this is blended perfectly. Okay, so you can see that, all right? And take my rag, and I just get the vast majority of this off. And then we'll try to see how this goes. I'm just going to streak down. I'm going to try to hide this crack and this crack over here as much as I can. Okay. Still pretty wet. Still pretty wet, but that's okay. Good news is paper towel goes a long way. Use our little brush. Let's see here. Use the small brush here to maybe get in just a little bit more, I don't know, more accurately or a little finer detail. Still too wet though. When I'm doing this, I'm just pulling down because obviously any kind of, residue and water and stuff is going to go, gravity, right? So I'm just pulling down any of the movements that I make. Okay. Do you guys do a lot of the weathering on your layouts, or do you, for the most part, leave it kind of just bare plastic or bare paint? Like that. Okay. Big brush time. Pan pastels, I've heard those work really good. I am going to do, when I'm weathering, I try to go kind of light to start, and then I just keep building layers because it's much easier to build layers than it is to or at least it's much easier to go darker than it is to, you know, go lighter. So we will do layers. Need more paint though. Pan pastels, I gotta try those. Do you put a matte finish over it once you're done? That's way too thick. Well, see if I can do this left-handed. This is gonna be tough, but we're gonna try. 12 feet by 9, that seems pretty okay. That seems all right to me. I thought that was a little too thick, so I'm using some water here just to thin that out, because that was coating on there way too thick. This brush is holding on to it like crazy. Wow. That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. We're going to thicken that up right there anyways. Funny enough, the finger actually works really good for blending. Better than anything, I swear. Okay. I don't like it over here. We need a little thicker though. That's better. I think we'll be able to get it in this spot right in the middle, because theoretically that's where the bridge is going to be. So a little bit of blending here. Clear coat, yeah, okay. A little water. Little water. I'm avoiding using any kind of alcohol because I don't want it to thin my paint and have it come off. So that I should let you know I'm avoiding. Come on, paint. Let's go. Let's see if I can get this to streak down a little bit better. I might have to add, let's try adding a little bit of water down here. Which might be a mistake, but maybe I can get it to pull down a little bit better than what it's happening. We're getting some streaks in there. That's okay. As that dries, pull down with the paper towel or a finger, I guess. Okay, I can live with that. Still need to cover this up a little bit. And you can't see that. I'll do this one so you can see that better. Live chat. That's going good. How about you, Mike? We'll darken this up. Okay, more black. Ooh, that's a dark one. We're going to have to blend that. We're going to have to blend that for sure. Well, let's just blend it all the way into the top. Well, it's a dark patch right there. Okay, let's use some black. Let's get some powders in this. See what it starts to look like. Let's check the chat, make sure. What am I using for weathering? I am using some paint. So I got NATO black. I have a mixture right now of the rust. So that's what I'm using right now. That's that mix right there. I did already go over it with a mix of white and this cement gray, just to try to bring out some highlights, which is really hard to see on camera, which I get. But I went over that first, started the rust and dark colors a little early, because this wasn't completely dry, but that's okay. And then I'm going to use some of this weathering powder right now, and that is going to bring a lot of highlights in. Or should darken things up, I should say. So, and because I have no instructions of what I'm doing this in, I might go back over it a few times. My lighting, yes and no. For the most part, I think about like how things are going to be in the real world. So obviously we have our train bridge is going to be across right here. So there's going to be a lot of spillage, and it's also going to protect this area from the sun. This might get hit more with the sun. So I might think of that versus my like artificial lighting inside. I should move the paint. Okay, so now this is the weathering powders. And again, if it's too wet, which I think it still is, it's going to kind of ball up on me, but that's okay. Get the corners. what I want to try to do is get these edges. If I can get these edges, I think that would be good news. And I'm lifting up on the brush. I'm trying to get it into the cracks around here. And then I can blend after that. And the other thing, if you find that it's too much on there, use a little compressed air and gone. Hello, Junction. You know, I really do like the Tamiya stuff. I don't have any around me at the moment, but and it really mixes well with an alcohol. It just seems to work really good. Whereas Vallejo's kind of acts a little funny when you mix it with alcohol. But I like the Tamiyas. The Vallejo, I like the fact that this stuff comes just ready for your airbrush. I'm telling you, if you guys are wanting to do good weathering, get an airbrush. It is just it makes such a difference. It's like night and day. Again, we're going to try to force it up here. My head's kind of off to the side of the phone, which I'm using for my camera. So it might be, I'll have to go back and check some of the chats. If I miss some, just, I'm sorry. Might have to say it, ask them again. Pull that a little closer. Okay. People phoning me and everything. All the times. All right. It's starting to look like I got some, weathering or some stuff coming down from this point right here. I like that. A little thick right there. Oh well, that's okay. What airbrush do I prefer? I found like a cheap one on Amazon, and that was good enough for me. So I don't know even know the brand, but it was probably $200 maybe. And that included, it came with a brush and a compressor. Maybe 150 or something. That's Canadian money, so it's like $100 to you guys. Once again, I'm using the brush to go upwards when I'm doing the powders because I want it to get into the cracks. Put some to the side here. And it's kind of hard for you to see this one right here, but I do have a crack right there. That's just because this Walther's abutment set, it has 3 pieces. Well, technically 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even though I thought I had this crack perfect, it's just eventually over time, things are going to move, and just the way it sits, it's going to show up. You just pretty much can't avoid it. So I'm going to try to hide this as much as I can. I might put some greens, some stuff that kind of overhangs it a little bit, but sometimes there's just nothing you can do. So let's check the chat, make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, we're doing good. How about you, Mark? How's things? Yeah, I like the Walther. Walther's has a lot of good stuff. They have a lot of goods. Most of the kits that I use are from them. I think they're one of the better ones out there. Maybe the best. Actually, I don't. I'll say they are the best ones in terms of what you can get. I just wish there was all the stuff you could get in HO scale. I wish you could get in Nscale. That would be nice. That didn't turn out. Didn't like that last one. So let's see if I can get rid of that. That's better. Okay. Okay. Now, there's something else we're going to do. I'm going to use the white once again. And I'm going to try to highlight these edges. I want them highlighted. So put a bit of white in. A little dab of the cement gray just to dull it down. Oop, that was a big dab. That was a big dab. Whoa. There, let's see what I'm mixing up like that. I'm going to try to do the dry brush with this as well. Let's see if that's going to grab yet. Not yet. Okay, that's okay. I will put the white over here so it's a little thicker. Okay, dry brush. I don't know if you guys ever used it before, but it works awesome, especially when you're doing your rails. Man, it looks good. Let's see. Missed a chat there. What are we saying? Good call, Mike. Yeah. You guys with the have the bridges, a lot of bridges, I'm kind of envious. My layout is not big enough for that, but I think bridges look awesome. I just love it. So I'm just going back and forth, trying to get some paint on the edge of these, corners, just to highlight them, to make it look like they've been hit by weathering and the rain, sun, stuff like that. And I'm doing this now because I have an idea that it's going to really thicken up some of the streaks right in this area. But I want to get these highlights in first. For no particular reason, to be honest. I don't know. Okay. Ooh, that's way thick. Okay. You probably can't even tell that little white that we're putting on, actually, but I see it. Just enough to show some of these edges. Yeah, just enough. Okay. That looks okay. Now, we are going to get a little crazier with this. I'm going to use a much wetter version of our rusty dark color, and I'm going to let it run down. So, a little bit of our rust, pour that in. A little bit more black on this one. Pipette, water. We're going to use a lot of water on this. In fact, the one beside it, I am going to do solid water. Because I want where this edge is to let it run down. So we need more water. Like that. And that's going to end up pooling all along this edge right here. So that should darken that up. And then we're going to do roughly the same because I was going to show you this better, but our bridge is going to go like right there, right? So we want it to be where our feet are going to be. That's going to, pull up some of the rust and stuff. At least in my mind it is. So we'll put that in. And I'm going to let that run down. Top, same thing. Just kind of get it a little dark. Like that. Same thing on the other side. If you got too much water, you can use the brush to blend. Okay. Water, I tell you, is your friend in this situation. Blends all of this together. He's a little darker right here. And we're going to do the same, I think, right here. You guys see, I'm pretty blind from the 36 by 80. That sounds awesome. One day, I am really looking forward to building the other half of my layout. But man, I kind of was hoping wood would become more cost effective. It just hasn't seemed to get that much cheaper. Let's see what we got. I haven't checked the chats for a second since going back there. Thanks for joining us, Branch. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great night. Okay, we'll put a little bit more of the watery weathering right here, and then we can probably move on from this. In fact, I will use this big brush to kind of blend it together. What's cool about brushes is if you get a little too much water pooled up, you can take your brush and it will suck that right up. Look at that. Is it starting to look okay? It's funny when you start and you're just like, man, this is going so slow and there's nothing really happening. 10 minutes later, and all of a sudden, there's something there. Okay. All right. What do you think, guys? Is that looking okay, or we need something else for it? Looking good? Okay. I'm liking how the streaks are coming in here. This definitely hid a lot of that right over on this side. Yeah, I like that. So that's looking pretty good. I think I may leave this looking like that for now. But what I think we could do, if you want, we could probably add some dirt in here if you really is. If you want to see that, I could probably do that. Bridge shoes, okay. Yeah, I like it. Let's do it. Throw a little bit of a rusty color there. Somewhere around in here. Ooh, still very wet. Still very wet. But I like it. I like it. The bridge shoe, I think he's talking about the feet of the bridge where it sits on. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's probably hard for you guys to see, but that really brightened it up and to look more rusty. So, good suggestion. I like it. All right. The other thing that's really good to have is a fan brush. These things work awesome. If you got like something on the edge or whatever, these things, they just get rid of everything. I love them. Okay. I wonder if we can put some dirt and stuff in here. Think I should do that right now? Should we actually go ahead and throw some dirt down? Or should we call it a night? What do you say? Do it. Okay. All right. All right. I have no idea. I have bottles of glue mixed everywhere. I have no idea what they even are anymore. But whatever. We're going to use them. Yeah. Okay. So I need a brush, I guess, to brush some of this glue down. We're going to use this one. I got one sitting over here. Okay, I'm just going to dunk my brush into this and then spread the glue around a little bit. This is actually way too thin. So, Elmer's Glue All. Telling you, this stuff is just, that's the best way to go. It's cheap and it works pretty good. Well, we're committed now, aren't we? Yep. Yep, committed. There we go. Get that glued in there. I always do a base layer of glue. And then I sprinkle my dirt on top of that. Seems pretty obvious, right? Oh boy. Get my edge where I want it. That. All right. Incoming dirt. Which I just used my own real dirt. Try to do it this way. Ooh, that's a lot. Sorry if that's right in your way. I have no other way of doing that. Like that. All right. That's some of that one. What else do I have for dirt? Rocks. Okay. And a little bit of the fine dirt. We'll put over there. Like so. Then let's put, maybe put a few rocks or something in here. Sorry, just missed that. Let me go back to that. Yeah, I agree. Material, that is my own dirt. I sifted through that. I just grabbed some dirt on the street, sort of thing, and I put it in the oven. I always, if you're gonna do your own dirt, put it in the oven and clean any of the bacteria off, because you don't really want a bunch of organisms going in your dirt. And then I just go through a bunch of different straining tools, and that's it. have a few other rocks that I know I have. Okay. Where are they? Of course, the dirt and... Now, if you're going to do the dirt straining and rock straining like I do, there is... If you're doing Nscale, you have to go through a lot of material to get what you want, because it's so, to get the fine rocks, it's so tough. So you can see just these are some of the coarse rocks that I've gotten out. Something like that. Might mix in a few. I really obviously don't have any kind of particular pattern for any of this. I'm really just throwing it together. All right, a little bit more in this area for sure, but I'm also going to cover it in some grassy stuff, that's for sure. Some of those big ones out of there. Back to my fan brush, which I just lost. There it is. That. And then I want a little bit more. Is this a river scene? No, this is my road, which I painted. I guess it kind of looks blue, but that was on purpose, because I don't like the black asphalt when people do that. Nothing wrong with it, but I just think that it looks too black. So mine's a little blue. Cover that with some dirt. That. Okay. I think this is starting to come around, though. I think we're seeing something. Use my fine dirt on the edges, like the real fine stuff, because that's the most visible. Like that. That's better. That's not too bad. I think that looks okay. Maybe I can get a few rocks on this top spot. I'll try to do that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's put some glue or something up there, which will be on stage 2 of this. Yeah. Yeah, I use sifted dirt from, I call it the yard. Yeah, and it looks so good. Any real rock I can use, I like it so much better than any of the cork stuff you buy from, say, Woodland Scenics. It just doesn't have the same kind of effect. Where is my alcohol? Well, I can't find my sprayer, so we're going to dip this. We want to soak that up before it pulls all my paint up. So this is just alcohol that I'm putting down now. I need more. Like that. Normally I use a spray bottle to put the alcohol down, but I must have it somewhere else. Sure enough, that bottle is going to run out on me, isn't it? Yep. There we go. Get that nice and drenched in alcohol so that the glue will actually soak into it. Good enough. Glue. My glue strainer bottle. Where are you? Where are you? I wasn't really planning on putting the dirt down, but I don't know. I'm glad that we did this. I think it looks good. So it's like roughly a 3-to-1 ratio. Probably run out before anything, but anyways, drip, drip, drip. Soak it all up. To be honest, it's actually too much alcohol in there, but it's what we're doing. Okay, little drop right there. Like that. Okay. Let's see what we have. Sorry, I missed a few chats probably right there, a few comments. You can bring that up. Drop it to dish soap. Won't you attack the paint on any paint? I didn't know that. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I don't know. What do you think of that? I mean, obviously it's got to dry, but I think that fills in everything kind of nicely. I'll put in some green stuff a little bit later on. I gotta let this dry. I'm gonna try to fill in these gaps over here. I think I'm gonna use that with some greens. Same thing with over here. I might have to do this sections in the corner once I have the bridge in place, because obviously you can see that I don't have any of the, ballast down in here. So good, good. Yeah, I think it looks okay. Yeah, I think it looks all right. I think we hid this pretty good. I think we hid that pretty good. So yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens when it dries. But yeah, when we start throwing some green down, it'll also change that, I'm sure, once again. Plus, when we blend all this area in, a little more green in here. So there's a few more stages to go, but overall, I think this part is done. I can actually keep moving forward, I guess. So yeah. Hey, I really appreciate all you guys, sticking around and watching the weathering. And yeah, it was awesome. What bridge I'm using? The Walthers, this big guy right here. I don't know the kit number or anything, but I like it. I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, this was awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming to stick with me on this. I like some of the suggestions. All right. But I think we're going to be done for the night, though. So, anybody have any questions or anything? Any comments? Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Yeah, our first little live feed. So, yeah, it was fun. I'm glad it was fun to do with you guys. So, if you guys have any suggestions on, streamlining it or making it better, let me know. I try to listen to all your guys' suggestions and comments. So, yeah, thanks. Appreciate that, Dave. So, yeah, I hope it wasn't too late as well. I mean, you never know what the time, everybody's got different time zones. So, like I said, if there's anything, leave a comment. I'll probably just like upload the video onto the YouTube channel. So, anybody wants to throw a comment in there, they can. And then, yeah, any and all feedback is always good. So, I'll leave that for now. And you guys have a good rest of your night. Thanks very much. And see you next time. Have a good one.